And you guys are actually going to hold this horizontal just like this all night long, and it is recording audio and video. So with that being said, in the event you actually see a blue spot, we want to try to move those crosshairs to that spot to try to get a gauge on that temperature. Temperature is very important for us, so we want to make sure we're capturing those things. And you're not going to be able to watch this thing literally all night. That's why I ask that you at least hold it out all night and kind of pass it between the two of you, because holding out like this for an hour and a half can be a little daunting. So your first location, guys, is actually going to be kind of a practice spot, so that way everybody can kind of get used to their gadgets. Find me a speaker while I explain it. Sorry, I took nausea medication, so I'm just waiting for it to kick in. So, guys, this guy is actually, thank you, a spirit box. So, what is a spirit box? I know you already know what one is, Kristen, so I'll still explain it. A spirit box actually allows us to communicate with those that have already passed on. Okay, so, I'm sorry, I did not do full introductions. I know you kind of heard everybody's names, but let's go down the line again. Elyse. Jamie. Jessie.
Samantha.
Ellie. Corey. Lori. Sophie. Kristen. And you know. Bobby. Okay. All right. And now, guys, this is London. This is my daughter, so she's usually just as well versed in this stuff as I am. So she's here to answer any questions for you, and she's going to help me with you guys in that first practice spot to help you guys make sure we're listening and watching things the right way. But this particular spirit box actually moves pretty quickly, so in the event we actually stop to hear a word from a DJ, a song lyric, then that is where we're actually going to... are you guys here for the ghost hunt? Yeah. All right, perfect. So, should be one of the person with you. So, spirit box. This one does not record. So I'm going to ask that the two of you are going to kind of like share this and verify each other what you actually hear. So it might actually be a DJ. That's okay. We want to know what the DJ says. It might actually be a song lyric. We want to know what that lyric is. So there's really only one button. It's on the back of the speaker. You hit the center button and it turns it on.
Okay.
And then obviously when I'm telling stories, you just shut it off the same way. You just hit that center button on the back of the speaker. It's already sleeping. So literally, it's on, but the speaker is off.
Got it. Okay.
Very, very simple. One button. All right. So welcome aboard, ladies.
No, I don't want to.
Hey guys, we can move you guys all the way down to the end. That's fine. So we use another spirit box. This one actually records the entire session for us. So what's kind of cool about this one is you don't have to have the volume all the way up the whole night long. Unlike yours, where I'm going to need you to kind of tell me what you hear, this one you'll have the full recording of in tomorrow's evidence. I'm going to upload everything to that website. You guys probably missed some of that part. You're actually going to get all of this evidence back. Like, I'm going to text you in the morning and you're going to be able to go through all of this evidence. So, this one, go ahead and hand it to those two young ladies and show them where the volume is.
Okay, so there's like a little, it's right here, it's like a twist for sound. So.
London, we jammed all these in here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alright, so the next part is actually a little bit more on the interesting side. It doesn't record any data, it's more of an in the moment type gadgets. So the first one is the neuralizer for Men in Black. None of you are going to remember anything when we're done. You probably remember that joke from me telling it the last time you were on the tour. But this is actually a grid pen. So what this guy will do is we will actually be able to see anything that passes through those specific lasers. One of you will actually have a digital camera, and hopefully you will be somewhat nearby when this actually goes off, so that way, in the event we actually capture something, we have the actual picture of what's actually happening inside of the grid. The second one is actually, so I don't shoot myself myself in the face with it, is an actual grid. It actually has squares to it. And what's neat about this one is in the event we actually have a picture or something on video where something passes by, I can put this in 3D software, and then we can get a full 3D view of the entire apparition that we caught. Now, this is a relatively new device. I've only had it literally about a month, maybe a month and a half. So I haven't caught anything with the red grid yet. Both of these devices, you are super excited about these lasers. So I'm actually going to hand both of these off to you.
All right. Well, hand them off to the one.
All right. So there are certain ways to use those, and it's obviously you point them straight down, and there's only certain places we can really use those. So you point them down and then kind of out in front of you a little bit. And again, we're going to guide you guys throughout the first location. All right. EMF detection. EMF is our first indicator that something paranormal is actually happening. There are 3 types of electromagnetic fields, which is what EMF stands for. So, the first one is from the Earth. That's where the green comes in. Okay? Next would be from man-made objects, such as cell phones or wiring. That's going to give us a pulse. We don't want a pulse either. So, we want it when it's going to be absolutely erratic and when we can't make any kind of sense. Again, with the shouting tonight. I don't know why I feel like I'm shouting over the traffic. But this device, I'm actually going to hand off to Kristen. Because she knows how to use this guy. She's been on one of my tours before. You got next? So, yeah. What else? Digital camera. Yep. All right. So, let's say Samantha, who has the thermal imaging camera, which you guys all saw the demonstration of, is standing where I am, and she says, "Nick, there's a blue spot in the middle of that wall." We're going to debunk it before we get excited about anything. Okay, so that's the first thing. So we're going to take an infrared laser, which everybody see the red dot? So the red dot is only going to measure what it touches. So I'm going to measure all the way across the wall to make sure that the wall has the exact same temperature. In the event that it does, we now know that the blue spot that she sees in her camera is between her and the wall. So we also have a psychrometer, which is an ambient thermometer to kind of gauge with the probe at the top where that blue cold spot would actually be. Does that make sense? I know it gets kind of redundant, but we will. I'm actually going to hand both of these off to you because one of these is a laser, and you're older than the rest of the kids. So, what else do we have in there? That's it.
So,
So, 2 spirit box. All right. So, last but not least, we have a digital camera, which is a very basic point-and-shoot type camera. The rule of thumb with the camera is that nobody can be in the pictures that's part of the hunting tour. Me and London are fine. However, nobody else can be in the pictures. So we have caught some shadow people in the past and verified it against the thermal imaging camera. We have caught some different things with, obviously, the grids. And because she already has the grids, I'm actually going to hand this off to you. Take as many pictures as you want. It's a very simple on and off button, and there's no flash. We don't want any false positives. So in the event you actually capture,
I don't want to make a mistake.
you'll be fine. You're just taking pictures. That's it. You just can't have people in it. If there's people in it and there's evidence in it, I crop the people out. It's very simple. I can fix anything. So, all right. So, a couple of things you guys need to know about the gadgets you all are using. Again, you're going to get most of this stuff back. So you're going to have the full thermal imaging. You're going to have the full audio, which I've already started recording. You're also going to have the pictures that are going to be uploaded. And then you're going to have, I use a spirit box on my phone that actually gives us a word list. So the word list can be anywhere between 40 to 85 words on average for my tours, and it does give us a full list of words. 80% of this doesn't mean anything. 20% of it does. It's up to us. I'm going to clear out last night's tour. It's up to us to figure out what that 20% is based on the location or something that's actually happening around us or to one of us. So, you will get that list back as well with the valid links to show the evidence of the location that we were at. I also use a backup EMF in case the EMF batteries die, but I also use a reverse spirit box, which I use to communicate that, and you guys will have that on your regular audio. So I'm going to play it for you guys. I'm going to walk around so everybody can kind of get a gist of what it sounds like, because you're going to hear it on your audio. It's what I use to communicate. It's going to sound like gibberish because it's in reverse. Okay, you kind of get a gist of that. So in something comes through in forward motion, I know that we have a direct line of communication and we can go even further. I'm not going to get excited about one gadget going off. I need at least one more, and I might not know what that one more is until tomorrow's collective data all put together. So with that being said, I do give you a quick analysis of what I do find in the collective, so that way you guys can kind of see what I'm seeing. Just so you guys, do the two of you actually have masks with you?
We do. We're back.
Okay.
You can walk back and get
That's okay. I actually have extras. So you want to dig those out real quick?
Sure.
While I'm telling the Big John story? Interesting. That's not cool. Put that back and zip the pocket back up. Alright, so guys, we actually start here. Don't touch the masks, let them come out of the package. So, we start here on purpose. This place used to be called Big John's. Big John's was actually named after Big John Kennedy, he was a football player for the 1947 New York Giants football. So, he used to sit in the back of the bar. Yep, go ahead and just take them right to him and let them pull two out of the top, or two from the middle. So, he used to sit in the back of the bar and nod off to the bartender if the cadets from the Citadel were not of age. So one night, two guys from the Citadel come over, and Big John tells the bartender, nope, they're not of age. So there will be certain places where I say mask up, but it's really all about your comfort levels, just so you guys know. Or some. So anyway, those two guys that weren't not of age, they come back the next night, and they take the register from the front of the building. Big John pulls out his .45, and he shoots me, kills him. The bullet hole is still in the front of the building. It is said that anybody that sits in the front of the building starts to feel a little queasy, lightheaded, disoriented, those kind of things. Kind of like how I've been feeling from the start of this tour. But I bring that up because I don't know how paranormal activity is going to affect any of you. If anybody's not feeling well, please speak up. It's a very big deal. I've had people pass out, I've had people not make it through a whole tour, so forth and so on. The other piece of paranormal activity that actually happens here is that of the mantle. In 1886, we had a big earthquake here. Actually, our only true earthquake on the Richter scale of 7.0 or above. And this is where the first death occurred. So a piece of the mantle fell and killed a man, and his shadow is said to be seen right here on East Bay Street. So, again, it's kind of like why we started here is because of that whole sickness, disoriented kind of feeling. I just need to let you guys know if you are not feeling well, you need to speak up. So what do you guys say we go ghost hunting? You guys ready? Let's go practice with your gadgets.
Your camera's right up there.
Alright, so, got everybody wrapped around, good deal. So guys, this is the red barn lot, and this particular location is where they keep the horses for the carriage routes. It's also the same location that they kept the horses that used to deliver milk to Carlton. If that kind of dates it for you. So we're talking 1860s to 1920s. I don't have another historical figure for this other than it's a great place for us to practice because it is a good haunted location that is inconsistent. Sometimes that EMF is going crazy from the start. Sometimes it waits until we leave. Those of you with lasers, all of you with lasers, those windows are absolutely off limits for lasers because we will shoot the horses. So, we do not want to shoot those horses. So those lasers need to stay really low. I have seen some of them flashing around, and I would know that we need to get a really pay attention to the lasers. So the thermal imaging, we want to get a nice slow sweep, and I will kind of catch up with you guys to kind of give you a little bit more about the thermal imaging. Spirit boxes, amazing place to turn it up and just listen. Ask relevant questions. What color is the barn? What's inside the barn? Ask questions that you know the answers to that are not yes or no questions. Does that make sense? So you're literally going to be wandering around listening to those little tidbits of audio to come through and just telling me what they are. Again, I'll check up with you every minute or two as I'm bouncing around everybody, just so everybody kind of gets the gist of what they're doing. Other spirit box, you kind of already have the gist of kind of looking for that person, so kind of leave that to you, so kind of go from there. But, pictures, try to teach people how to pick pictures. I know that's going to be tough, but we're going to hit 2 lots tonight. Like we already have 2 cars here, so try to keep those cars out of those. And again, with the laser grids, you should really be taking pictures of going through the grid. So we're going to demonstrate a little bit more with you guys as we start to bounce around. So let's start to explore a little bit, guys, and we're going to start bouncing. Me and London are going to be around to help you guys out. So let's start off with the laser grid. Go ahead and flash them down for me.
So you can walk down that way a little bit.
Big John. Big John, huh?
Might be my problem. Hey, Nick.
Wow.
But it's like going to red and then I step over here and it stops. So I was thinking maybe something underground, but if I do it, it goes to red and I do it to the ground, it stops completely.
Well, the sewer.
There's no power line.
No, it's a sewer line underneath us.
There's no power lines above us. So it's like right here.
And it's not going to stay steady either. So that's why you're like moving around and you're getting different readings. So you're getting red there, but not in other places. And then you might not even get red here for very long. So again.
So Lori, y'all could come here right now and ask questions. Since it's very active right now.
That was fun.
See how it's going crazy? You could ask questions now or stand in this area and see if you get any words.
Yep. Ask more questions.
What is your name?
Alright, so nice slow sweeps on the camera. Obviously they're getting some activity here, so you did the right thing by pointing the camera this way. But also, that camera is not up to the pixelization of our cell phones. So nice slow movements, that way it doesn't have to pixelate to catch up. It's probably ideal. And there might be times where we're walking through the location and I think everybody kind of like it's okay to keep up. I know you're going to try your best to try to slow video to watch, but at the same time, we don't want to slow down and we might miss out on the next location if we have time. So, but yeah, nice slow movements all the way around, walk around, and you guys can ask questions too because we don't know what's going to come up on that audio. And that's the kind of the thing about all the different gadgets is sometimes I'll ask a question, but the answer is going to come up on somebody else's device.
Put the water on the ground and this, like, come over this way, Jessie.
What is your name?
No, turn it around.
The water's going to be cooler.
Yeah, well, like, there's no water over here, but it's now the blue's on there and then the red.
Are you married?
Do you see that? It also could mean that a car was parked here.
Are you?
Do we know what the temperature difference is? And tell me when I'm standing in the middle.
There is a song that is supposed to.
You're standing in the red.
Yep, you're in the red.
You go this way a little bit, you'll be in the blue.
Still in the red, now you're getting in the blue.
Now you're in the
This
blue.
is water.
Okay, now go back that way a little bit. There's some more blue over there.
In red, you're in the blue now.
Now you're in blue.
Right now.
Do you like the blue?
And the blue is going up.
It's about a 2 degrees difference.
So where's the thermometers at? Who's got the infrared thermometer? Who's got the red laser thermometer? All right, so kind of shoot right where I'm standing.
I heard church girl. They are definitely.
What's the temperature there? Yeah. And what about over here?
So you're back in the blue now.
Okay, so we got about a 3-degree difference. Like, I'm not super excited about that. I usually look anywhere between like 5 to 8 degree differences for any kind of temperature drops like that. So even though it's blue, it just means like out of that screen, that's the coldest area. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, so you guys here, yeah.
She's like right here.
Scanning for FF. Exactly. So, have you ever seen the movie Transformers? Okay, so Bumblebee, the yellow, okay, so he talks through the radio. He uses the radio as his own voice. So that's kind of how we have to take this. So when I say we could hear a DJ or a song lyric or anything like that, that's exactly what I'm waiting for you to tell me that you hear. So when you hear something, it's literally a matter of you're either meant to hear it or it's going to be part of our 80% and didn't really mean anything. So when I go through these, like just when I got the report, I kind of have to take them different.
See, right in here is about 85 degrees. Yeah.
Flip against that right there.
That's from the propane. This whole area right here is cold. This whole area right here is about 84 degrees. 37, that's not a big difference. I'm ready to get out of here.
That's exactly right. It's going to stop for a millisecond longer than it normally would have. You're going to hear something a little bit more clearly than I could make what out it just said. But you're waiting for that DJ or song lyric to come through. Or commercially, you say, and all of a sudden it's the K that you say Charleston. You know how they actually get there. California, it's still a location. It's very
Hot. You are so hot. Man. I'm gonna let it catch up.
I think it's when it rained.
I think so. Because I can see why that right there is a propane. The propane is colder. But it goes up that wall. What are you talking about? Let's see. So, are you okay? Are you still there?
We're going to move on to the next location and actually learn some Charleston history. And again, this tour is really about the scientific method of ghost hunting and learning. Like, I'm going to give you just enough data so that way you guys know what you're listening for, what you're watching for, and what kind of words that are actually popping up. So again, we're going to go to the next location and let's go learn some more about Charleston.
Let's go. fix this picture up. Water.
Great.
I got years.
Okay. All right. So guys, we are actually at the Pinckney Mansion site. So this is super remarkable for us here in Charleston. This is the home of Charles and Eliza Pinckney. Charles and Eliza Pinckney had a son named Charles, and they also had a nephew named Charles. Those two, the son and the nephew, were actually signers of our Constitution. I'm not in politics. I'm going to move on to Eliza. Eliza's super active in this particular lot, and I promise we will not hit parking lots all night long. I know parking lots are very, very boring. So, the mansion would have been in the front of the lot, obviously. Eliza's garden would have been lined up with the blue dumpster over here, and then the slave homes would have been lined up kind of where I'm standing next to this trailer this way. Eliza moved here because she wanted to stay here in the United States. Her dad was dying. He lived in England, and he wanted her home. She married Charles to stay here in the States. So, with that said, sorry, guys, my stomach is really rumbling. I'm fighting it here. So, Dad got better, the two made amends, and Dad starts sending her over some gifts. Some of those gifts happen to be plants because Eliza was a botanist. One of those plants happened to be indigo. So if you've been in Charleston for more than a day or so, you've probably heard the term indigo. Indigo is the cash crop that saved Charleston after our rice plantations were no longer doing well. So indigo is the blue dye, or it creates the blue dye that makes your blue jeans blue. So it's something that we still use today. It's super important, this location, and yet nobody talks about it. As you guys can see, the EMF meter is already going crazy. Eliza, a couple things that you guys need to know about Eliza, of questions you can ask, either your spirit boxes or the audios. Eliza had 4 kids. Only one of those 4 children was a daughter, so you can try to find out what her name was. We have had some glimmers with the spirit boxes here, but again, we're going to try to keep the lasers down below the wall. Pictures are absolutely none here because of so many cars. The thermal imaging, we're going to get nice slow sweeps all the way across and kind of let us know what the temperature gauges are. The infrared thermometer on your end, again, kind of bounce it low. Keep it below the wall because we do have businesses around us. Spirit boxes are going to be super active here. Other facts you can ask about Eliza, she was the second wife named Eliza, so you can ask what her maiden name was. You can also ask what happened to her house. That's another question you can ask. These are very simple answers that we're listening for. I'm not going to give you those answers until after we leave here, so I'm not putting suggestive thoughts into your head. Does that make sense to everybody? So I could tell you that her daughter's name was Linda, but you'd be listening for Linda. It's not Linda, just so you guys know. But again, you'd be listening for Linda the whole time and say, I heard Linda. I'm giving you questions to ask so that way you guys can actually help us find relevant evidence to the paranormal actually existing here. Now, Kristen, go ahead and hold up your EMF. Remember the light trick that we had? So that light on the back is sometimes flickering very fast like it is now. Last night it was really slow. It's usually in sync with the EMF meter telling you how much energy is actually in this place. It's affecting that light. And again, sometimes that light is completely on. It just depends. It's not always doing the same thing from night to night. So, you got the word arms. Interesting. So, bring him. Alright, so guys, we're going to explore. We're going to bounce around with you guys some more. But ask those relevant questions. Again, let's keep the laser grids low and kind of keep it out of the business sakes and away from cars. And let's see what we can discover here.
what is your maiden name?
What?
Asking Eliza what her maiden name is. Eliza, where is your house? What happened to your house? 35. Eliza, it was cold. Around the dumpster. Eliza, did you have flowers? That's the car.
That's where her garden would have been.
See? 73 degrees here. We're here is about 87. It's going back up. Oh wow, did you feel that? Coldness? Eliza, what happened to your house? Is your house still here? Eliza, is this your garden? Can you show me where your garden is? Can you show me your flowers? What kind of flowers? You wanna hold it?
What?
Talking to Eliza.
You don't want nobody back there.
A lot of them don't know that they're dead, so you might want to be like, when you got hurt, when you got sick. They don't know that they're dead. They could be the type of ghost that goes about their normal activity because they see their house here, not part of it. They're stuck in their time.
I heard survivors.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Giardia or anything like that. Like, you got like big, yeah, big something. Last week. They're going off again?
But
let me follow up with the spirit box folks and see what they're doing. I just wanted to check if you see. Like, no, this is not good at all. Alright, so we'll keep you guys in. Alright, what are we finding over on this end of things? Anything on the thermal? Nothing?
Yeah.
What about the spirit box?
Nothing. We asked a bunch of questions and getting no answers.
Okay, so when you're asking those questions, are you asking them like one right after another?
It was the same like 2 or 3 questions
Okay,
over and over
that's
again.
good. So, again, you never know what
my arm's hurting.
Where's the camera? Up there. I don't. See, it's about.
You should think it's also raining. So, here.
An hour.
Yeah.
We got 2 parking lots.
Just spit something back out at me. That one, on the other hand, is recording. So even when the volume is down, we'll still have a nice steady volume recording. So let me check in with them.
Is there ever, and it's okay if not, I'm just wondering, a time where we would all like switch?
I usually say because of COVID right now, keep everything in your own party. So if there is something else that you would like to try,
I'm just wondering if we're not doing this job.
No, we're fine.
you're fine, honestly. Like at least you act like over there, you have to break each one.
That would be why.
What?
Cardboard was colder.
Oh, yes.
Elijah, is this your garden? Eliza, will you show me your garden? Eliza.